Enchantress is an archetype that is as beloved as it is hated, yet it has been a staple in the MTG community since its inception. Often thought of as Durdle and played like Solitaire, Enchantress gets a bad rap by pros and novices alike. Despite having commanders from different spectrums of magic, from Voltron to stacks or life gain, there has never been a commander that takes enchantments and Enchantress decks into a new frontier. Introducing Anexia. As a playstyle, it goes against the norms that players learn when they first start playing. A unique merge of both creatures and enchantments, Anexia costs 2 generic and Abzan for a 4/4 demigod with menace. She leans heavily into the aggro playstyle by giving our enchantment creatures menace, while also exiling non-aura enchantments from your graveyard and creating a 3/3 token zombie of said enchantment. Whenever she enters the battlefield or attacks, you sort of get a second shot at all of your enchantments that can now attack. Although there are some great Enchantress commanders, I personally have a really fun Tatsunari deck, and Shrines are very popular as well. The prominent colours of enchantment decks would be white followed by green. Being a lot of great enchantments in Selesnya, these colours feature heavily in a lot of these decks. EDH Rec shows that the top card for this theme are all white and green cards. Anexia goes one further into Abzan, which brings some very fun black enchantments into the fray. So let's have a look at what new cards have been released into this precon. Narcy Fablesinger is a great alternate commander for this deck, and you are going to want to get her out ASAP. As this deck has a strong graveyard theme, we want to get our enchantments into the graveyard. Unfortunately, Narcy doesn't directly help with this, but she does have a great payoff. Excellent with sagas or if you have a sack outlet on board. This card is going to provide plenty of value, drawing us cards whenever we sacrifice and dishing out damage and life gain to boot. This card will be a lot of fun. Say the Eldest Reborn resolves. We return a creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield, and opponents take 5 damage and we gain 5 life. Or perhaps we add the World spell to the deck. She could also be slotted into Saga decks. Looking at you, Tom Bombadil. Now, on to the other cards in the 99. First up, we have the 2 new enchantment creatures, Nyxborn Behemoth and Demon of Fate's Design. 2 great ways to get more enchantments into the graveyard. Demon of Fate's Design lets you cast an enchantment for life once a turn, which will greatly help you speed up your board state. With Nyxborn Behemoth, we get a 10/10 trample, which is always a threat, and he has a sack outlet and protection to boot. And hey, maybe you cast it for 2 green mana. What's not to love? Ondu Spirit Dancer and Composer of Spring really help to speed your board state up as well. A free enchantment every turn from Ondu, and a land or creature with any new enchantment from Composer of Spring. Your opponents might turn their attention to you and kill you, as these 2 cards combined will make you an extra scary board state. As a bonus, if you have a way to bounce an enchantment on an enemy's turn, you're just going to be creating more value out of Yondu Spirit Dancer. The amount of variety and flexibility offered by the enchantments in this deck is amazing. Ghoulish Impetus can be a fun little buff to one of your creatures, but this card really shines when you put it onto an opponent's creature. Boon of the Spirit Realm is a classic Ansem card, and will make your returning 3/3 tokens all the more stronger. Battle at the Hell Vault is a great temporary detain, and then drops a huge indestructible flying vigilance 8/8. Rounding out the new cards is an awesome card. Cacophony Unleashed starts off as a one-side board wipe, and then follows up as a 6/6 menace and Death Touch God. What more could you ask for in one card? That rounds out all the new cards we're getting from this fantastic precon. It is so pleasant to get access to another couple of fantastic Enchantress commanders. Not to mention the returning cards, there are your classic enchantment cards that draw you plenty to refill your hand, a good amount of ramp to roll yourself into the big enchantment spells, and plenty of exciting cards to bring back for one more roll from the graveyard. An overall very exciting deck to get your hands on. Let us know which new and returning cards you are most excited for in this precon in the comments, and let us know what devilish cards you are going to include in an upgrade. Until next time, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and as always, don't forget to pay rent.